Monday, December 18th, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I like to look at the market. It's 20 to 9 a.m., so it's an early market update. I'd like to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about why I'd rather have a silver wallet than a digital wallet, longer term, of course. And I'd also like to give an update on the new CME futures on Bitcoin and talk about geopolitics. Interesting article on Zero Hedge, and I'm not surprised about the topic. But first of all, let's see what the major markets are doing. Spot gold, $12.5725, up $2. The range overnight has been $12.5250 to $12.5780, so we're near the highs. Silver up 5 cents, $16.10. Range has been 16 even to 16.12. These are all spot prices. The Dow is up 133 points. You have to say, is this just as big a bubble as the Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies market? It seems to be up triple digits every day, the Dow Industrial. And that was the question that Steve Leisman asked Janet Yellen in the last FOMC press conference. So Dow up 0.5%, S&P future up 12, up 0.5% as well at 2686. The NASDAQ future up 50 points, or 0.75%. So equity is doing very well. The pound is up 33 pips, or 0.25%, 133.55. Euro up 37 pips, or 0.33% at 117.90. And the dollar is virtually unchanged against the yen. So overall, the dollar is a bit weaker this morning and overnight. Crude oil up at 57.70, up 0.75%. Cryptocurrencies, they've been quite moving around quite a bit overnight. We got up to this weekend almost up to 20,000 in Bitcoin, and I think we got down to 18,000 nearly overnight. Right now, Bitcoin 18,860. Ethereum above 700, 711 right now. So Bitcoin future on the CME started. One thing you need to know about Bitcoin future CME is that the contract is 5 times 1 Bitcoin. So if you trade 1 future, that's like trading 5 Bitcoins. The front month contract is the January Bitcoin, and that has traded, according to the CME website, 645 lots or contracts. So if you calculate 645, for example, times 18,500, that's the equivalent of just under $12 million nominal, so a small amount. The other months, February, March, and June, they've only traded like 1, 2, and 2 lots, respectively. The other point I'd like to make is that the maintenance margin for Bitcoin futures is actually 38,485. So it's difficult to leverage on the futures here. They're asking for a lot of margin if you're going to trade the Bitcoin futures, for now, that is. So Bitcoin, I spoke earlier about why I'd rather have a silver wallet. Well, I'll show you why. And many of you might not have seen this. This is probably more of a British, how can I say, contraption. And it's almost an antique. It's from the Victorian, early 20th century. This is called a silver purse or silver wallet. And what is this? Well, basically it's sterling silver. And if you click here, it opens, right? And then you can put your sovereigns in there on both sides. And you can put a few more in here. And this you can put like a chain, and I think people used to wear it in their pockets with a chain, almost like a pocket watch. So this is the silver purse, or silver wallet, if you like to call it. I bought it a few years ago. It's got someone's initial on it as well, as you can see. And if I were to lose that or misplace it and someone in 100 years found this, it'd be very easy to get some value out of it. But a digital wallet, let's say someone left their mobile phone and lost it somewhere, and someone finds it in 100 years, would they be able to turn that on and to get into the digital wallet and use that as money? Am I trying to put down cryptocurrencies? No. Short term, people have done very well from being in cryptocurrency. Blockchain has a future as technology, but I'd rather hold this in my hand longer term than a digital wallet. What else? Yeah, geopolitics. Article on Zero Hedge. It says, sorry, chump, you didn't have it in writing. And it's by Eric Margolis of ericmargolis.com. And he actually talks about when the Soviet Union collapsed in 1990, how the U.S. administration, Bush senior administration, negotiated with Gorbachev and pledged and, you know, made a deal and said, we won't move an inch if the Warsaw Pact troops, i.e. the Soviet troops, withdraw from Western Europe, or sorry, from Eastern Europe, we won't move NATO an inch eastwards. And now NATO is encircling the whole of the Russian Federation, and it's in all the old Warsaw Pact countries. And I've told people that before, and it's no wonder that the Russians don't trust the West anymore. So I'll read a few excerpts from this article. It's quite interesting. Let's see here. He says, and I quote, I was covering Moscow in those days and met some of the key players in this sordid drama. Ever since, I've been writing that the Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev and Foreign Minister Eduard Shevardnadze were shamelessly lied to and deceived by the United States, Britain, and their appendage, NATO. And he goes on to say, all the Western powers promised Gorbachev and Shevardnadze that NATO would not expand eastward by 1 inch if Moscow would pull the Red Army out of East Germany and allow it to peacefully reunify with West Germany. This was a titanic concession by Gorbachev. It led to a failed coup against him in 1991 by communist hardliners. It goes on to say, Western promises made to Soviet leaders by President George Herbert Walker Bush and Jim Baker quickly proved to be empty. They were honorable men, but their successors were not. Presidents Bill Clinton and George W. Bush quickly began moving NATO into Eastern Europe, violating all the pledges made to Moscow. So, and at the end he says, is it any wonder that this bait-and-switch diplomacy that Russia has no trust in Western powers, question mark? He goes on to say, Moscow watches U.S. run NATO oozing ever eastwards. Today, Russia's leaders firmly believe Washington's ultimate plan is to tear up Russia and reduce it to an impotent pauper nation. Two former Western leaders, Napoleon and Hitler, had similar plans. Those didn't end up very well. Instead of carrying on about Hitler's duplicity after Munich, we should look at our own shameless behavior after 1990. So that's Eric Margolis. I thought that was really interesting. So as I leave here, gold pretty much near the highs here, 1257.50. What to say? I think the markets will probably get a little quieter as we go into Christmas. New Year's period always quieting down in the markets. And we're continuing to see Are we going to continue to see this Santa Claus rally in the stock market? Probably. And I will stick to my silver wallet, even though, of course, I also have a digital wallet. Yeah, diversify. And don't chase. Don't chase price. And I'll talk to you later then. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, share it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And I said I'll talk to you later. And you can follow me also on steemit.com and on Twitter. Bye.